Curious About Ice Cream by Bonnie Bader. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream! People really love ice cream. 9 out of 10 Americans eat ice cream, and they each eat about 21 pounds of it every year. That's a lot of ice cream. Where did this cold, sweet, creamy treat come from? No one knows exactly who invented ice cream. More than 2,000 years ago, Alexander the Great, a king of ancient Greece, enjoyed eating snow and ice flavored with honey and nectar. Emperors in China also ate something like ice cream over 1,000 years ago. It was made with heated milk, flour, and oil from an evergreen tree. The mixture was poured into metal tubes, which were then placed in ice. Once frozen, it was ready to eat. Explorer Marco Polo visited the Far East from around 1270 to 1290. Stories said he returned to Italy with a recipe for a cold treat similar to sherbet. Rich colonists from Europe most likely brought the recipe for ice cream to America in the 1700s. The first president of the United States liked ice cream. George Washington had his own device he called a cream machine for ice. He also owned an ice cream serving spoon. President Thomas Jefferson loved ice cream too. He even had his own recipe for making it. Although ice cream was a favorite dessert of some US presidents, a former slave known as Aunt Sally Shade helped put ice cream on the White House menu. Shade owned a catering business in Wilmington, Delaware. She became famous for a dessert she made from frozen cream, sugar, and fruit. Dolly Madison, the wife of President James Madison, loved the sweet treat. She made it the official dessert of White House dinners. In the 1820s, White House cook Augustus Jackson mixed salt with ice in his dessert. This helped lower and control the temperature of the ingredients. Some people call Jackson the father of ice cream. That's because he made it so much easier to create the cold treat. He later sold his new and improved ice cream in tin cans to street vendors and ice cream parlors in Philadelphia. Soon you can make and eat ice cream at home. Nancy M. Johnson invented the hand-cranked ice cream freezer in 1843. It had a large wooden bucket with a smaller tin can inside. You filled the space in between them with ice and rock salt. Next, you poured heavy cream into the inner can and bolted on the lid. Then you cranked the handle until the mixture froze and became ice cream. Ice cream ingredients were expensive. For a long time, people mostly ate it on special occasions. Selling ice cream wasn't much of a business until Jacob Fussell came along. Fussell was a businessman who sold milk and cream from farmers in Baltimore, Maryland, but he couldn't always sell everything he had, so he put the leftovers to good use and produced ice cream. Fussell built an ice cream factory in Seven Valleys, Pennsylvania in 1852. He packed his ice cream in ice, put it on trains, and shipped it to Baltimore. His business was a huge success. Many ice cream vendors were immigrants from Italy. They may have called out words that sounded like hokey pokey. Ice cream was sold by these hokey pokey vendors and pushed ice cream carts on the street. The first hokey pokey men started selling in 1828. By 1901, there were over 4,000 hokey pokey vendors rolling along the New York City streets. Some of them were women and girls. On hot summer days, they were surrounded by kids. Eating a dish of ice cream was great, but eating an ice cream sundae was even better. Some people say this dessert was invented in Two Rivers, Wisconsin in 1881. An owner of a soda fountain shop there spooned a bit of chocolate sauce over ice cream for a customer. Delicious. Others say the sundae was invented in a soda fountain shop in Ithaca, New York. There, a local priest will serve vanilla ice cream covered in cherry syrup with a candied cherry on top. The priest suggested that the dessert be named after the day, which was Sunday. Whether it was a scoop or a sundae, ice cream was served in a dish. That changed around the 1900s. Ice cream cones were invented. Italio Marciani, an Italian immigrant, baked dough in little cups with handles. He filled each cup with ice cream. He could eat the whole thing. Another vendor sold ice cream at the World's Fair in St. Louis, Missouri in 1904. He ran out of cardboard serving dishes. At a booth nearby, Ernest A. Hamwi was trying to sell waffles. No one was buying them because it was too hot outside. Hamwi rolled up his waffles into cones to help out the ice cream vendor. How do you keep ice cream cold? Put it in the ice box? If you have one. In the early 1900s, not many people had refrigerators, which were also known as ice boxes. The first home refrigerator appeared in 1911. As refrigerators with built-in freezers became more popular, so did ice cream. In 1899, 5 million gallons of ice cream were made each year in the United States. By 1919, 150 million gallons were being made. In 1920, a confectioner named Harry Burke covered vanilla ice cream with a hard chocolate coating. His daughter tried it out. Tasty, but too messy to eat with her hands. Bert's son suggested putting sticks in the treat. The Good Humor Bar was born. Harry Burt brought 12 trucks, built freezers inside, and added bells. People would know when his ice cream trucks were coming down the street. Sometimes, melted ice cream isn't so bad. On a hot summer day in Hartsdale, New York in 1934, Tom Carville's ice cream truck got a flat tire. His ice cream started to melt. People passing by bought it anyway, and no one complained. In fact, they loved it. Tom sold soft serve ice cream for the rest of the summer. He earned about $3,500, which is about $60,000 today. In 1936, Tom opened his first Carville ice cream store, right where his truck had broken down. Carville soon had competition. In 1938, J.F. Grandpa McCullough had his son Alex McCullough opened up Dairy Queen in Joliet, Illinois. Grandpa knew the ice cream mix tasted better before it was frozen to its final form. That's because really cold ice cream numbs your taste buds. The McCulloughs introduced their type of ice cream with the sale, all the ice cream you can eat for 10 cents. They dished up 1,600 servings in 2 hours. While soft ice cream was being swirled out into cones and cups, ice cream was also being sold in soda. Several people claim they invented the ice cream soda. The most popular story is about Robert M. Greene of Philadelphia. In 1874, he was selling a popular drink made from sweet cream, syrup, and soda water. One day, Greene ran out of cream, so he scooped in ice cream instead. People loved it. Through the 1950s, ice cream sodas were served up at counters manned by soda jerks. They were called this because they had to jerk an arm of the soda fountain to make the soda water flow. Many teenagers worked this popular job. In the 1930s and 1940s, ice cream was being made, sold, and eaten all over America. Ice cream was a delicious treat, but it was also given as a reward. During World War II, when a ship's crew rescued an American pilot, they got 20 gallons of ice cream. In 1945, the United States Navy built a floating ice cream parlor for sailors. Every hour, about 5,400 gallons of ice cream were made on board this barge. In the 1960s and 1970s, a lot of new ice cream companies popped up. Reuben Mattis, a Polish immigrant who lived in the Bronx, New York, started Häagen-Dazs in 1960 with 3 simple ice cream flavors: vanilla, chocolate, and coffee. In 1978, Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfeld took a $5 correspondence course on how to make ice cream. Ben and Jerry opened their first ice cream shop in a renovated gas station in Burlington, Vermont. Lots of people think ice cream is out of this world, especially astronauts. At first, they ate crumbly freeze-dried ice cream. Then in 2006, cold, creamy ice cream was packed into a freezer aboard the Space Shuttle Atlantis. Now, astronauts on the International Space Station can grab a cup of frozen ice cream. I scream, you scream, wherever you are, you can always scream for ice cream.